All right, from the studios in Fairfax City, we are very grateful that Piero Delux accepted the invitation to our show. Piero, welcome to my humble podcast, my friend.
Thank you, Claudio. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
No problem. Piero, let's go back to the beginning of your life. Were you born in a musical family? How old were you when you perhaps began taking piano lesson or guitar lesson? Your parents telling you, "Hey, don't waste too much TV. Take a class on Saturday or Thursday afternoon. You can learn something."
So I wasn't born at all in a family where my parents were not musicians at all. They enjoyed music, more singer-songwriting music. In Italy, so there was pretty much just Italian music. So
Yeah.
quite national constraints music. So I dare to say it's not there where I got the hint that that could have been an interesting domain to investigate further. What happened is that when I was 8 years old or 7 years old, something like that, my father sent me to classical guitar classes, and I hated it. It was terrible for me. I remember I was crying after 1 year. Didn't want to continue. My father really forced me to go, and then it took off. I don't know what happened, but I really started getting interested more and more into the broader spectrum of the musical topic. But I can retrace back that passion towards this first listenings of a couple of bands. I think the first one was the first album of The Police. I was like 8, 9, and it blew me off. It blew me off. It was like I never heard anything like that. It was just amazing. I would listen to that album, Outlandus d'Amour, like 20 times a day. Regata de Blanc, etc. And then when I was 9, 10, probably I discovered the album that changed completely things for me. It was The Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
I remember I was listening to it with headphones.
Yeah.
9, 10 years old. It was the equivalent of taking a trip to the moon. My life at that moment changed. The potential that will arise out of these, out of what sound can be, not just instrument, not just playing a classical guitar, but the search of sound on the space, the stillness and it was mind blowing. And since then, for me, music has became something, an obsession, something so serious, the most serious thing, and to this day probably it is still. And then little by little I was dreaming about building up my own music and writing an album. That was the dream. So I quit the classical guitar classes. Okay, I achieved a certain level of proficiency at the time, but I was a little bit frustrated by the fact that there were things right and things wrong. At least for myself, I have a lot of respect for classical musicians, and enormously a lot. But it was constraining the topic into what's right and wrong. So black and white was very difficult for me. So I started getting interested into electric guitar, and of course by that period I was all into the 70s. 70s were my bread and butter. Led Zeppelin, Genesis, King Crimson, Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, all these guys, the PFM in Italy, Area, all the strange progressive rock from Italy that you might have heard about, Le Orme. It's all these guys that somehow were really getting music to the next level, to the what looked being impossible in a shocking way. It was Caravan, Camel. I love Camel. So these kind of guys. I love to feel like in a niche. Of course, it was the 90s, early 90s. So who was listening to progressive rock in the 90s, where everything was somehow becoming grunge and something else than let's say Emerson Lake and Palmer synthesizers and this kind of thing. So I love to be in that kind of niche, and this really triggered me to try to create the next thing that no one did. So from trying to be very proficient on an instrument into let's try to translate what's I hope it's unique about myself in the most honest and direct way possible. So and that's how I ended up writing my first album with a small band I had at the time when I was 18. It was a prog rock band, and we did this album when I was 19 years old, and that's where it started. Yeah.
And then you mentioned a lot of big names there. The PFM, Leorme, Camel, Gong. I interview a lot of them. And people were very nice. And then, of course, at the beginning, Genesis became popular and kind of famous when the first time they arrived in Italy as well. So
true. They were saved by Italy.
There were so many great bands, progressive rock in Italy. Italy in progressive rock was kind of way ahead of everybody. I mean, Leorme, PFM, like I said before, and
Aria was
Aria as well.
Aria is that were for me. Aria was the next level. Next level band with Demetrio Stratos with this experimentation, vocal experimentations. He was trying to understand our vocal potential before the convention of society, before the understanding of what was right or wrong in expressing, in singing, etc. It was amazing.
I got you. So you put the first record together. How old were you? 18, 19?
Yeah, 19, something like that, yes.
And then, so eventually you finished high school, right? The equivalent of high school here in the US. And then any pressure for your parents about, hey, forget about music. You're not going to make any money. Go to school, become a lawyer, become a doctor, an entrepreneur, make some money, and then put money on the side. Part-time.
I put that pressure on myself. I must be honest, because I went for engineering. I went for the polytechnics and studied building engineering architecture. I love architecture also. So I finished my 5 years course in building engineering architecture, and started also in that domain where I am at still today. In parallel, I was still passionate about music. Somehow I felt from the very beginning that even the type of music or the type of search that I was undergoing, I wanted to keep that freedom while I wanted to feel free or doing that by having economical and financial safety elsewhere. That was a little bit my goal. And that's exactly what I do today. Yeah.
Good for you, man, that you are able to manage both your life, make some money, and then create music. Of course, your moniker is Elsehow. It's a solo project of Italian Belgian composer and producer Piero Delux. Where did the name Elsehow come from?
It was a song, an instrumental song on that first album, progressive rock album, called Elsehow, because I was looking for a name that would express the search of something else, but how. That was the thing. So the need of putting the footprint on new territory, but how? Looking for the right tool to do it. So sublimating it from the simple instrument and using different type of tools and vectors to do that. Yeah.
Good, excellent. You speak very good English, by the way.
Thank you.
How many languages do you speak?
I'm passionate about cultures and languages, so I also had the chance to travel a lot since I was young, and so today I can speak 6 languages. 4 of them are Roman. So the 4 aside from the Romanian. So
Yeah.
Portuguese, Spanish, French, and Italian, of course, my mother language. And then I live in Belgium, speak Dutch and English, of course. Yeah.
Good for you, man. Good for you. I'm happy for you man, that you had that. Your music is a blend of dreamy, art pop, ambient music, of course, evocative soundscape, and so on and so forth. Why dive? Although you kind of grew up listening to a lot of prog rock, right? Why
Mhm.
you end up, going from prog rock to the particular area that you concentrate, the dreamy pop and
Mhm, mhm.
we'll talk about the people that were influenced, but a lot of shoegaze band from the 80s
Mhm.
and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Let's start from the problem that genres are to be defined by journalists, and it's
Correct.
very
Yeah.
difficult for me. I have the feeling that I love jazz, for instance. I love
Yeah.
jazz. I love progressive rock. I love experimental. It's all the same thing. So it's for me the wish to bring that art further again. So it's all part of one thing. It ended up in 2026 today. It ends up with technology, of course, and electronic music, because this is the new vector. It's actually not that new, but it's just a continuation. And actually, electronic music was already used in that first song from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, first album,
Yeah.
Lucky Men, no, when the Moog synthesizer was used. That's the moment. Also, I mean, when we hear about Close to the Edge from Yes, etc., this is all electronic music used into a scenery that use rock standards, electric
Yeah.
guitar, but also jazz standards. King Crimson are the progressive rock jazz. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, probably more the classical music. So genres, to conclude this, it's just a way to say things. So why is dream pop or ambient? When you listen to my albums, I think there is a common theme, a common denominator, but each album is quite different. The label, Projekt Records, my label, decided that my last album, Afterimage, was a dream pop album and should be marketed as such. Yeah, I went along with that one, but I'm already writing my next record, and it's already
Right.
something else. It's completely more instrumental and more experimental, probably. Yeah, I don't know what is becoming, but let's see what's the next genre that's going to be found, a label.
That's better. Have you ever thought about, or anybody approach you to do create music for a film at all?
I'd love that. I believe that possibly 100% of my music is
To be
thought
used,
with a clear scene in mind. It's quite cinematic what I do. I'd
okay.
love to, and actually, if anybody is listening, even small producer from shorts movies, I'm up for business. I'd
Yeah.
love to produce some music for movies, short movies. As a matter of fact, in my last album, there is one song, the last one, Telekinesis, inspired
Yeah.
by Tarkovsky Stalker,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
one of my favorite director and movie, and that is exactly the reimagined score for the last part of that movie.
Gotcha. Good for you, man. Especially because in Italy, I have interview. See, I like I told you before, I have a wide range, right? I like jazz, rock, pop, electronic music, film score, and of course, any Morricone for your country is
Yes, of course.
way up there. So I'm
Yes.
thinking that somebody need to take a look at your music and perhaps for a small film or somebody an upcoming artist. Uh, there is an institute in Italy that will say, of course, you know that there's, I think it's IAMF. I think it's an institute in Italy. I will send you the link that you can send in an email and tell them, yeah, I'm Italian. I live in, here and I create music. I'm interested in working with a upcoming director and then see what they send, So, yeah, because I could see your music in a particular, field, some way or another. So
Send over, and I will definitely send them an email. Love
yeah,
that.
yeah. I will put you in touch with some people. Of course, you know, uh, with your liquid guitar licks and your type of music, I know you have been influenced by David Sylvian, Talk and Scott Walker.
Mhm.
Who doesn't like these people? So why? Feel free to how you arrived to get to know Scott Walker music and David Sylvian and Talk. What memory do you have?
Mhm.
Why David Sylvian, for example, right?
Yeah. These three artists are also quite different from each other. So they
Mhm.
share the same sensitivity towards
Yeah.
the unknown in music. I would call it like that. The kind of artists, the three of them, talk in the later stage, they could put in music that the concept of the unknown will bring you into something that will be from one side scary and beautiful. So David Sylvian, I think the first listening I had was Teen Drums from Japan. Someone
Yes.
handed over that album to me early, also in my 12 years old, 13 years old. I was looking I was trying to devour all sort of new music, and friend put me this teen drum, and also there the production, the clarity of the intellectual honesty, I will call it even. Ghost, you take a song like Ghost, which was a song in the 80s, was in the radio, for God's sake,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it's unbelievable. It's scary and beautiful. Again, it's in the use of the voice, also how we evolved in the years. Because if you listen to the first album of Japan, were a mix of this synth punk UK band. It was just amazing, and then I started listening to Brilliant Trees and Secret of the Beehive and so on and so on, and it just struck me.
Mm.
I was completely done. And these are the kind of albums that, yeah, probably every month, every 2 months, I have to release them. Or maybe Seekers of the BI is I have I think I heard Steve Wilson saying the same thing for the Dark Side of the Moon of Pink Floyd. He said, "I have a chip in my head about the Dark Side of the Moon." It's the same for me for Secret of the Beehive. I can just rerun it just by thinking of it, and every single detail, and it just was a lot of it was a great educational moment when I listened to those albums. Scott Walker also for me is when you listen the albums even from the 70s. Scott 4 probably is in my top 5 albums of all time.
Wow.
It's the lyrics and the baritone voice. At a certain point, I was trying to change also the way I sing, and I realized that the baritone voice is the one that was really hitting me the most. There was the most dense and with this large spectrum. In the end of the day, the bass is the frequency. Now the engineer comes. Is the frequency, is the long frequency that it's just going through everything. You cannot stop it, and the voice as a baritone becomes an instrument, such as David Sylvian will do as well.
Mm.
So Scott Walken, what he did with Scott 3, Scott 4, Climate of Hunter, the experimental album of with the Walker brothers. I forgot the name. Also beautiful, and the later things that he did in the 90s and 2000s. So definitely gave me the conviction. Yeah, you should be looking into something that others haven't still written. So that kind of obsession. And talk. Yeah, I still remember when I watched that Such a Shame, that video clip on MTV when
Oh
I was
yeah,
very young. I found it pop, but odd. The people and the musicians were odd. They were not these Duran Duran stars. There was something odd in that one, or even in the song and the lyric also. It was not just about the girlfriends and I miss you or something. So it's and the color of the spring. That's where it all started. Talk when something changed and he went through the later albums that I believe started the post-rock movement potentially, Laughing Stock and so on. So yeah, it's just that it's like in progressive rock, like in jazz. I need to have the sparkle of curiosity. Oh, what's that? What happened there? Wow, I never heard this. This is unique. This kind of approach that you can find in these three artists that you mentioned, but actually, like, it's widespread. Tangerine Dream, if we want to enter in the electronic domain, which I also like, or even Kraftwerk, these kind of guys. Yes,
absolutely great music. Yeah, unfortunately, Mark from Talk Talk and then Scott, Scott Walker, they died too young. They were unbelievable. Unfortunately.
Unbelievable. Even the last album, the intentionality of these artists, that's what struck me. Scott Walker will do an album every 10 years at some point.
Yeah.
The Mark Hollis did I think his solo album in '98, and it was without title. It was fantastic, and then just disappeared. The guy just disappeared. I remember I was listening to that album. I was falling asleep with that album in my ears, when I was 15 or some 16, and just sleeping through that album. It was amazing.
Talk for me is one of the many bands, but it's something I always go back to listen to. And I will try to interview at least a couple of members, and I think I will try to interview a family member of Scott, like his brother. I think he sent me an email or something, or his ex-wife, because I would love to talk to them about that kind of music.
Although I believe that Paul Webb, the bass player, I feel him is quite active on social media and probably more open to talk about today. Talk. I read it recently in one of his posts that he feels more at ease to discuss about. So maybe you should reach out to him.
I will definitely do. All right, let's talk about your album Patterns.
Yes,
that was released. Well, was all right, to set the stage, right? So originally it was released in 2018 as a 5-track EP, and then you end up re-releasing that expanded on that in 2020, 2 years after. And of course, you have some covers of songs of Talk Talk, Brian Eno, of course, and Scott Walker. And the latest album, that album, right, for 2020 includes an acoustic version of Inertial as a bonus track. And that's a very, very good album, man.
Thank you.
That you released 2018, almost 8 years ago now, right? So
it's 8 years ago, and it was indeed my first EP, self-released. I didn't have a label at the time, so I released it as a 5-track. It's when I listen to it today, I have to smile because it's a mix of some pop songs and some very krautrock. I wanted to start the album with the krautrock song mix of Kraftwerk and Tangerine Dream with all these synthesizers going all the way, and then ending up with some pop songs. Yeah, it was. It was still a way to stay in the framework of pop music somehow, but trying to express things in an experimental way. That was the tentative. In 2020, I started collaborating with a label Actually, I started that collaboration the year before with a collaboration with a New York artist. It was called From. It's a beautiful album that we released, a memory of tomorrow. If I can talk about that one, which is not available anywhere today, so maybe I will re-release
Of
it.
course, you have to,
Soon.
man.
So
Talk to me. Talk to me
it
about that
was a
album.
collaboration with the guy Michel Mazza. Is an Argentinian guy actually, living in New York. A fantastic artist from Projekt Odnu, and so the idea was I wanted to try to push myself to stretch my music in a different place. Probably at the time I wanted to try to still, there was something in me that was pushing me to do things in the right way. Patterns was also a little bit that I feel I tried to still please someone, I don't know, or please an average audience, I don't know, at the same time trying to experiment. So at the time, I had this friendship with Michel, and this guy is crazy. He really does avant-garde, drone, unmelodic sometimes stuff. And I said, why don't we collaborate? This is beautiful. So I decided to create an experiment. I will just use classical guitar, piano, and vocals, write a song in 2 hours. I actually broke my foot. I was stuck at home, and that was the thing. So I said, I will write one song per night, whatever comes. I don't care. I'm not gonna re-listening to it, because then probably I will try to make it as nice as as possible for the listener, average listener. And I will send this very melodic stuff, sung and everything, but very experimental, a bit Marcolis late talk kind of style, to Michel, and let's see what kind of mess he's gonna do about it. And that's how it came, this beautiful album, A Memory from Tomorrow. That I will send to you later
Thank
on.
you.
But we will have to re-release, because then it's not anymore available. But so we started with that UK label, small micro label, with that one, and then I suggested to the label that we could have re-released my 5 songs EP, and I could have added 3 unreleased songs from the time. And in the meantime, I was I was recording some covers. Life's What You Make It from Tall Talk, It's Raining Today by Scott Walker, By This River from Bianino. And I said, and they were just there. Said, let's bundle everything together to make an album, and that's how we came out in I think April of May 2020 with Submarine Broadcasting Records, this micro label from South UK. Yeah,
I get you. And then, so the album you re-released in 2020, and then what do you do? How you promote at the time you promote your music? Do you send to radios? You didn't
there
have an
was
agent? You didn't have
pretty
a
much a
record?
label doing that, sending the album to their contacts, their radios, their their network. Probably limited, very limited at the time. This was quite limited, but okay, it's still got its own echo somehow. Got me some new contacts also, but yeah, it was quite a closed environment, let's say, niche closed
You
environment.
need to release that album, my friend.
Yeah,
If you like it, it should be good. People need to listen to your stuff, you know.
that's
Of course, well, a little bit later, you end up releasing Come Somebody Live the same day
yes.
twice, live the same day twice, right? Then return with captivating collection instrumental music, atmospheres, cinematic. That's another great album, man. And of course, you mentioned that you have written that or recorded when the isolation in lockdown, so
Yep.
it was very difficult for people to write that kind of music. So feel free to elaborate on how that
Yeah.
project came together.
It was still, I think, as an artist, the biggest enemies of it. I think everybody can be an artist, Claudio. That's my perception. I'm a humanist, and I really believe in human potential and how either society or fear can just block us into developing ourselves. And an artist has to struggle with this need to be understood. So on one side, the more you want to be yourself, and the more you're going to end up in something unique that probably risks not to be communicable. That's the danger of art. So at the time, I was still struggling a lot into trying to do the right thing. Yes, still pushing boundaries somehow, but feeling like I don't like this. I need to repolish and change it. What happened is that I wanted to push myself into going beyond my boundaries. It was the COVID. Everything shut down. I was stuck at my place. I think I put all my synthesizers and instrument. I wanted to create something live, recording new material in a live way. So each instrument was live, and I could loop, for instance, a piano lick, and then continue with the guitar and loop it, and then create something, and just led myself into that one. And the goal was to do it just for myself, just to enjoy my time, because it was stressful time for everybody. The fun part is that I think I did the first track while I was still able with my hands. I think the week later I had an accident with my bicycle. So I broke my how you call this in English? I forgot. Also,
Yeah, no, good question. I don't know.
I broke my hand. It was
Yeah.
a very stressful thing. My
Yeah.
left, and I broke my shoulder. I
Oh
was
man.
stuck, man. I was stuck. At the hospital, the doctor says me, if you're lucky, you get 80% of your potential with the hand. And I'm a musician. And I thought, I'm a musician, then play. So I forced myself into playing. So guitar, I couldn't play it anymore. So if you listen to that album, the first track is with the guitar. The rest is all synthesizers. And I just used music to soothe myself, to help myself to go through that very challenging time, being handicapped for a while, and not being able to get out of your house. Here in Belgium, you couldn't get out of your house almost. It was terrible, and there was so much in my stomach that had to come out. That in 1 month, that's what I wrote all these tracks, and I decided that's it. I don't want to use my voice for this album. I have the feeling at the time I thought that voice is self-indulgent. It's still too much in the pop. I want the music to speak for itself somehow, and that's how I ended up into that album. Can Somebody Live the Same Days Twice, which was it's a title of a photograph in a museum in Seoul, Korea, of modern art that I visited, which was showing two people in an island in the Pacific, where basically at a certain moment there are two different days, because the line that defines the hours goes and divides the island in two. So there were two people, and one person is the day before, and the other person is on the day after. And I thought, wow, this is a fantastic idea. And it made me start to think about the subject that for me it's always been overwhelming, the idea of reality, and how memories reshapes your reality, and how and how basically you relive your past through the filters of a knowledge that you achieved so far, etc. Now, how everything is so subjective. It's a topic that in cinema is quite present. In I think the first one was Otto e Mezzo from Fellini, of course, where you see the main character. Actually it's the more realistic way for a main character to live his day, because when you live your own day, you're seeing what you're seeing, then you're remembering your mother that told you 30 years ago something, then you remember the call you had at the same time, and that's what's happening in Otemezzo. So that was very shocking for the time in the 60s, when this film came out, and then Tarkovsky and David Lynch, of course, and all these guys that they brought in the dreamlike, the memory-driven way of perceiving reality. So, and that's can somebody live the same day twice? Of course, I love also The Groundhog Day. It's a beautiful film, and that's played a role in deciding the title. But it's how reality and memory, it's our own and so subjective, and I find it beautiful and interesting.
Absolutely right. So eventually, so you recovered, thanks God, and then you were stuck. The second album is out there. How you promote it? What did you do with that album?
It was with that label, the micro label. Same thing, same network. Not much of a traction. Again, I was not so busy probably trying to promote. I have always had, Claudio, difficulties into promoting myself rather than making music. I felt like when I start promoting, I might be this process might be starting influencing also my music making, because someone is gonna tell something. Why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? And then, we are human beings. We are never sure of ourselves. So yeah, I stayed with that micro label. It didn't got much traction, to be honest. Some nice people, nice radios, but I also have a feeling with my new label, maybe I need to remaster that album and propose it to re-release with the current label I'm working with now. Yeah.
Good. Because that's a very, very good album, man.
Thank you.
Need to, and of course it was.
It is so. Because I didn't conclude it then. It is basically a guy in his apartment that has been traveling massively. For my job, I have to travel a lot, and also for my private time, I love to travel. And every song, it's a memory, or it's a memory or a revisiting of the memory. So it changed that memory, either geographical or related to people, etc. Or childhood. And that's why there are different languages involved, these kind of things.
Yeah. Out of all the countries that you have visited, which in particular you say, man, I will, if I have money, I will buy an apartment here. Anyone in particular?
I think Japan.
Really?
I think David Sylvian, when he decided to move there, I know why. I mean, it's Japan and even South Korea, but Japan, there is a musicality. There's a music in the atmosphere, even in a busy city like Tokyo. There is a rhythm. There is a stillness mixed with the sound that somehow gets at peace with themselves. I don't know. There is something to it in Japan, and the attention to certain details and the quality in general of life, the food. Yeah, Japan is really took my heart, and also South Korea, I have to say.
Really? Yeah.
South Korea brings the Japan, but they call them peninsula people. They're a bit more passionate, like Italians. They call them, so they feel they are the Italians of the Southeast Asia. Yeah,
I got it. And but your country is so beautiful, man. I mean, Italy, in every city I've been, it's every corner, man. It's like a museum, It's something. Your country is unbelievable.
No, don't get me wrong. It's I hate to sound like a chauvinist, but it is not that. Italy is probably to this day is the highest concentration of beauty, culture, and it's in the world. And that you have a lot of places, but there in this small piece of land, you have such diversity and architecture, beauty, art. It's unbelievable. Don't get me wrong. It's when I say Japan, it's not, but that the voyage principle. That we are human beings. We want to move forward. We want to know the next thing. Also, as an artist, it's. I think Marco Polo, when he went to China, he still loved Venice. So it's we still look for the beauty that is veiled by that curtain by that curtain of ignorance. Ignorance is it's a beautiful thing when you acknowledge it and you try to open that curtain and move to the next piece of knowledge. So it's knowledge that Dante Alighieri, the guy that legitimate our language, said in a famous part where he describes Ulysses. How you say that in English? Ulysses, the guy that
Ulysses.
fought. Then so he get lost 10 years, and then he went through the towers of, remember, it's between Spain and Gibraltar. Gibraltar. They said it was the end of the world, and he said, "No, I have to go and look for it," and then he dies. And there is a sentence. Dante says, I would say it in English, fatti non in old Italian, fatti non fummo a vivere come bruti, ma per seguir virtute e conoscenza. We weren't made just to live like brutes, like ignorance, but to follow virtue, meaning and knowledge. So we are there to get to the next thing we didn't know. And Japan was that exotic thing, unknown. Was for me like I was watching Star Trek when I was a kid. I love Star Trek, and for me that was the thing, that you get into a planet and they have a different language, a different way of living, and that was Japan for me. So different.
Yeah. Good. Well, now that you speak 6 languages, you can learn Japanese now. Make some.
I speak 6 languages, so I mean I use them. And then I tried to learn. At a certain point, I tried to learn Japanese, of course. Yeah, it's a language is very close to Italian in phonetics. It's very close. So when you pronounce something, matte kudasai, it's really done in how you will do it in Italian.
Gotcha. Good for you, man. Yeah, Japanese. Japan is a beautiful country, but of course, you also include in 2020. They also include Mirage, that was previously available only in the CD collection at the time, right?
Yes, I like to. I always loved. I'm a collectionist like you, Claudio.
Yeah.
And I was always looking for the Japanese Australian version with the mini CD, or in Japan you needed to have a bonus track, because of course but then for the viewers I will explain. Yes. Maybe for younger viewers that were not chasing these CDs or vinyls. So because of the labels, because of the fact that Japanese buyers might have found more interesting to buy the CD from the US, because it's original from the US, they needed a bonus track or a better version for the local one. So I always was looking for that bonus track that I never heard of, that was just printed in a Japanese version. It was costing thousands. It was costing $100. It was crazy. So when we did the CD version of my second album, I decided, let's put a bonus track on the CD version. That was my thing. Yeah.
Of course, that's very, very, very good music. Of course, in 2021, you end up releasing live underwater, right?
No, we released that in 2024, April 24, from a live from 21. Yes.
From the live of 24, that's what it was. Yeah. So of course, I read that in preparing for the album, you end up selecting different pieces for the first 2 albums, and then you did a handful of intimate live shows at the time, right?
So what happened is that it was COVID. Me and my friend, we were getting bored. I have a friend who was a percussionist, and I said, why not coming to your garage and we just play. And we just improvise and we do things. So we ended up spending every Friday evening there, hours and hours, sleeping through the night and waking up and playing Elvis stuff, Led Zeppelin, a video of this recording. At a certain point, we started improvising and creating songs, and we said, why don't we bring this live? I have we can take the song from the first two albums. We take 5-6 songs from this improvisational creation, and we bring this live. And that's what we did. We played 2-3 lives here in Belgium. When things could open back a little bit in July of that year, we played also a live concert for that label I was working with at the time, and then I decided, okay, let me take these songs that we created and let's try to polish them and make maybe the next album. And I started recording them, and it didn't sound quite good as the live one. And I realized, yeah, the intention was the live when we created this song. So why don't we release that recording that we still have? And that's how it came out. So there you have, I think it's 5 songs are new, and the rest are from the first 2 albums. Yeah.
And then there were a small number of live recorded, right? So any videos of that?
Yes, there is a video actually, which is limited
or somewhere,
in view.
Yeah,
I have it in my YouTube. It's because it was the live of this live streaming for the label that we did. So I have it, and it's loaded on YouTube, and it's unlisted. Why? Because I don't know if I should have, maybe I should make it public.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, send me a link. I would love to listen to stuff.
Okay, I will definitely
live recording. For me, I like a studio album, and I have a lot of music, but live recordings for me is very, very important. I know, for example, right, if I want to see, I don't know, if Talk get together or whatever, or David Sylvian get together or whatever. There's some members are not there. Some people left the band. Some pass away. Whatever it is, but listen to the music, right? And the version is different. You know, the original member are not there. Whatever it is, it's like Journey, right? So the music is great. It's different, but it's great. You know, so for me, live music is very, very important.
It's Claudio. It's you're preaching to. I'm trying to translate from French. Prêcher un convaincu. You're preaching to someone that is
to the choir.
To the choir. For me, live albums and live concerts were everything. Was the way to approach a new band. The live album, I will never buy, for instance, the best of album. Instead of that, I will buy the live album, made in Japan, made in England. If I have to remember, even the song remains the same. Come on, it's the emotion, the vibration that when you hear the Rain song or Since I've Been Loving You. I have a playlist. I made a playlist on Spotify. I call it the perfect songs.
Yeah.
Perfect song means this song is just universally perfect. I put there the great gig in the sky, for instance, this kind of stuff. And the thing that just touch you, it's like they take your spirit and they turn it 360 degrees, and then when the song is over, you're like, what the hell happened? This is for me. In that playlist, there is Since I've Been Loving You live. From Songs Remain the Same. It's not the same as in the album, clearly.
Of course, no. Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it's like that, yeah.
No, of course, live music is very, very important. When you write in new music, you start with a specific melody, a rhythm, soundscape. How you go at the beginning? Let's say next week you have time in the afternoon and you say, well, I want to go to the piano and the keyboard. What's the beginning? How the music comes to you?
Today I'm at a stage, artistically speaking, where let's say I'm writing now my new stuff. Okay, I'm a guy that enjoys the reaction to things. So I need the first trigger. I need a sparkle. And how do I look for the sparkle, and that sparkle has to match somehow the emotion, the thing that I'm trying to say, that somehow is not coming out. The impression I had because of political, social, whatever, or emotional situation I met. And there is a sparkle, there is a sound. So I'm looking for that sound with my synthesizers or guitar. I look for that sound. When I found it, I feel it. Wow, I love it. And I think there is a term that calls that moment of an artist when you say, I mean, like in a space of time and space, in a moment of time and space where things don't matter anymore. You can stay 6 hours in that thing without realizing it. No? And that's the thing. You have that kind of sound. It moves you. It touches you. It comes from a place that you almost forgot that it existed. And then personally, I start hearing things on top of that. So that sound creates echo resonance. I don't know how to explain it better than in a physical way. It resonates. It resonates maybe that sound with my place, or resonates with myself and my spirit. It indicates me notes or type of sounds, and I go further and I layer, and that's next layer, and then same thing, and then it kind of compounds and becomes bigger and bigger. Yeah, that's the best way I can find to describe it, how I do it.
Yeah, good for you that you have to tell. Being here in the United States, we call it being in the zone. It's like
In the zone, yes.
you are so into something that, hey, it can be a fire, it can be a thunderstorm, earthquake, and you're still doing your thing and
Yes.
concentrate something that is important to you, called music, that we call music. Let's talk about the Afterimage, the instrumental edition that was released in December 2025. Why you decided to, of course, you have that album, famous album called Afterimage, but why you decided to do an instrumental version of that particular album? And then we'll talk about the album as well.
Quite interesting question. Actually, so in I think it was in March of last year, I got in touch with Sam Rosenthal from Projekt Records. So it's the mastermind of Black Tape for a Blue Girl. So it's and Sam, it's just an amazing guy. He loves music. He loves his artist. It goes into the details. His label became more and more an instrumental label, let's say, but he wanted to bet on the voice. Okay, so we did the album that came up in September. Then I realized, okay, there is my voice, there is my lyrics, my poetries. They say a lot, but somehow this is potentially overshadowing also some details and some nuances that are existing in the very minimalist background, the musical background. And it would be nice to see what happens if we bring this on the surface a bit more and we take out the voice. The voice was mixed in the same way as David Sylvian will mix his voice on top of Secret of the Beehive, for instance.
Yep.
And so I just did that experiment. I asked the artist that mastered the album to master also the instrumental version, and it sounded beautiful. And I proposed this to Sam, and he said it sounds great. And actually, the fans loved it. They loved it, and I think it went even a bit better than the sung version for some reasons.
That's great music, man. Very, very good. I mean, they're different, right? So you with an image, right? You can put your headphone, get a beer, a glass of wine, whatever, and then you go somewhere. You transportate yourself, man. So
thank you. I mean, Afterimage means so much to me. It's a result of 3 years, more or less 3 years and a half, while doing also other things, other projects, trying to do I was trying to do my Dark Side of the Moon, let's say. So I wanted to do something that will sublimate, that will be the clear, unapologetic expression of of myself and what I really enjoy in music. And it went through a lot of filtering out and doing and redoing, etc. I didn't want any sort of fillers in it. Was very unsure about the result, but it had to be perfect. And that was the point where we dropped the collaboration with my previous label, where I felt there was not much support. And I said myself, I will just focus on writing my masterpiece, which I believe so far, at least I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. I did it really for myself.
I completely agree with you. That's a masterpiece.
Without arrogance, really. It took me a lot of efforts to get there.
Well, I imagine so. And then you have another bonus track of that one as well, right?
Yes. So in 2022, I collaborated with a Russian artist. That was prior to the war. I will drink some water. 2 seconds.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
It's drying up here. So I collaborated with another artist from Purple Fog side. This is a guy that is quite famous in this dark wave synth pop scene in Russia. He has a lot of albums, and he made a remix of a collab I did with a synth pop guy. I'm talking about 2018, 2019, and I really enjoyed that remix. And he asked me, why don't we do a song? And we did a song, quite pop, quite synth, etc. And then we ended up doing the full album. Okay, it is something a bit far from what I do actually. But then I asked him, would you like to remix one of the songs as a continuity to that album? And it's the remix of Interlaced. I told him, make something sparse and ethereal. Don't make synth pop stuff. And I think it made a great result. And it's indeed the bonus track to the CD album, and it's the bonus track to the CD album. I needed to put a bonus track.
Of course, of course. Afterimage, now the album, right? So that's
I will take it. It's just here. I will take the copy because I think it's worth.
Sure. Yeah.
You are a collectionist, and
of course.
It took also a lot of time to came up with this. I will make sure that you receive one also, Claudio, for sure. It's this is my partner. She made the whole. So it's how you call that? It's 6 pages. Digipack.
Unfolded, right? So folded, right? So
and each piece of art represents a song.
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody ever understood that, but this is the representation of each one of the songs.
Yeah.
Remembrance, reflections. Because there's a reflection, voila. And then you have, so there is even in you see. No,
I see. Remembrance, reflection, hemisphere. Yeah.
And you have also nice booklet. This is still available on my Bandcamp. If you're in Europe, or in the Projekt Records Bandcamp in the US. But I'll make sure to send you over a copy for your collection.
I need to get I need to get everything you have done, man. CDs, vinyl. When you are here in the United States, if you come to watch DC, you will have. My wife's from Colombia, right? So I'm from Chile, right? You will have the best Colombian food in your life, my friend. You need to come here to dinner, man.
It's sold. It's sold.
When you are in Boston or New York, take a train for a day here, man.
We have an evening in Spanish. Okay, lo hacemos en español.
Oh, yeah, of course. Vas a la mejor comida de tu vida con buen café colombiano y comida chilena y vino chileno.
Ojalá.
But the album is very good. So feel free to mention where people all over the world can buy your music because you need to be heard, man. The music, it's you need to take your career somewhere to the next level. Somebody need to give you a chance. You can do
I don't
much
know.
better. You know,
I
so
don't know about career in the financial economical sense, but
yeah,
I love indeed to bring my music to as many ears as possible, especially Afterimage.
yeah,
Afterimage, it's a clear statement for me. It's such an important album. I think I poured all myself into that one.
yeah.
Everything I could do as a lyricist, as a vocalist, as a musician, more than as a producer. Yeah, it's I hope that I can reach out to that the music can reach to as many ears as possible. Today, Projekt Records did a great job also to already find some nice people that have been loving my album. Yes, yeah.
How you doing on project? You sell enough via Bandcamp and with some and
It's mostly the digital part.
the
Yeah.
yeah,
So what Sam does is, and I think it's quite successful. He has a lot of people following the label, and he puts the albums live on a name your price base, which I
okay,
do also on my Bandcamp for my previous
yeah,
albums. And this is for a couple of months, more or less. Then it goes to the standard price on digital.
yeah,
There
yeah,
are people that love to purchase even the digital piece on Bandcamp and having it in their collection to
yeah.
support the artist. So I think the Afterimage did quite well in that perspective. But of course, it's it's still a niche label, let's say, in a quite limited network also, but still very fulfilling, and I'm so grateful of that collaboration with Sam and
Absolutely, yeah.
Project Records. I feel blessed that I managed to collaborate with them. They
I
mean it
got you.
also. I don't know if music has any more money in it. If you can make such a thing as career, I don't want to sound blatant or I believe the art has to be an urgency of the spirit first and foremost.
Absolutely.
Okay, and at a certain point in our recent years, music became an object of capitalism, if you can use that word without sounding
Yeah.
but yeah, and now it went down again. I mean, no one cares anymore, unless you are Taylor Swift, or with all due respect, but or whomever. So you're not gonna see Pink Floyd anymore, really, and there in the charts or this kind of things, or it's really gonna be a niche thing. So it's over, man. It's done. The business, the have a cigar kind of situation,
Of course.
it's done. It's done. So is it bad? Is it wrong? I think technology also is giving the chance to everybody to record and be an artist. I don't know. I'm happy about what I'm doing. Yes, I'd love to get my music out there a bit more, but in the end of the day, it's I love the small environment I created around myself that allows me to do it. Yeah,
Yeah, I got you. You mentioned that you're working another album. If
I'm
you
working at
elaborate
another
about
album. Yes,
what is
after
coming.
after after images took me 3 years.
Yeah.
Really 3 years of hard work and desperation and tears and perfectionisms, etc. Probably I needed some acknowledgement. We did when we released Afterimage in September and in the instrumental version in December. I felt so warm-hearted by a lot of warmth from the heart of so many listeners from Projekt Records that really convinced me, gave me a lot of energy, and make me feel a bit, good about myself as an artist. And I ended up starting writing right away after my next album. So yeah, it's what is this about? There is also there is a lot of minimalism in the Brianino kind of style. I wanted to create something even more minimal, slow paced, probably without drums and rhythmics. A bit more avant-garde, some vocals, maybe just part of the ambience. Maybe there is a song where I say something, but mainly instrumental enveloping. It's mainly influenced by also something that happens to my life, where I became a father in October from a beautiful son. And yeah, I hear it in the music. It's really coming from that. My son, the way he perceives life, he discovers things, and how I discover myself, living the birth and growth, I suppose, of the child that makes you rediscover as a human being, because there are parts of your youth that you don't remember or you forget, or and you are confronted with that again. So a great deal has been influenced by that. How can I describe it? A lot of influence from Sakamoto,
Refuge,
Sakamoto stuff. Yeah. Async. I don't know if you know that album. It's an album from 2019. Beautiful, experimental, experimental album. It's also a great deal of influence. I was listening to it in the recent weeks, and it's. I want to create something unexpected. I made Afterimage, which is perfection in my perspective, perfection in representing what I wanted to say, and now I want to really go further and shock a little bit. Let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
feel free to mention it
from Projekt. Feel free to mention where viewer of this podcast can buy your music. Mention Sam's Bandcamp and your Bandcamp name. So
absolutely. So Projekt Records. So that's where you can find. I need to. Projekt Records. So project with a K. Records. So project in one word. Bandcamp.com. That's where you can find fantastic artists. Eric Wallo, Steve Reich. Oh my God, it's humbling to be among those. And of course, myself with my album Afterimage, instrumental and standard version. You have also my personal Bandcamp. It's Elsehow Bandcamp.com, and there you can purchase my previous albums and Afterimage in Europe as a physical version. Whereas Afterimage digital and as well for the instrumental version can be only purchased by Projekt Records, of course.
Got it. I will make sure that I put the links there on the as part of the interview, so people can buy your music. And for me to do, I need to send you a different email to send to my friend in Canada to see if they can put you in touch with David Sylvian, and then my friend's film composer in Italy, actually in Rome, to see if they can put you with any director, and because your music need to be heard somewhere, and your music need to be in a movie somewhere.
It warms my heart that you express yourself as such for my music.
No. I no, happy to help. You've been good to me. So it's about music. It's we live in crazy time in this world. This country against that country, and this and that. I don't know, crazy. So music has given me. I told you before, Piero. I was born in a family where music was very important, and if it wasn't for my dad, right, that passed away, I wouldn't be doing this stuff. My music has given me so much satisfaction in my life. I don't play an instrument. I don't want to read, but I've been invited to a lot of record labels, offices, and studios. I told you before, I go to London, and I've been in Abbey Road and Peter Gabriel Real World Studios, and and this and that, and so I'm a very fortunate person that I have taken this channel somewhere, and people can listen to music. And my only motivation in the world is to create a musical archive for future generations. So I don't want to be famous. I don't need the money. I'm a computer scientist. I do okay. Just as a way to promote music, and then, some, hopefully, after we pass away, the channel will be there. Some people want to be watching the interviews in, I don't know, 30 years from now, if we're still alive as a human society. I don't know. People will
Beautiful,
say,
man.
and who is this Piero guy that's with soundtrack and music and all that kind of stuff. It was very nice talking to you, Piero. And my friend, I will send you an email, because my friend in Argentina is very interested in selling you music. Yeah, and he
Okay,
owns a big record store, so I will send you an email. It was very nice talking to you, Piero. Question, we'll do a follow-up interview soon again. And
love
they keep
that.
me posted new material, and then and let me know when you are US, you can catch a train here to North Virginia, and you will have the best meal of your life, and we listen to the music.
I'd love that, Claudio. Thank you so much for your
Thank
support,
you.
kind words, and
No
showing
problem.
that there is still some magic to be found in music, and we
Absolutely,
should
man.
not we should protect it, especially in a
Sure.
world where everything becomes so sterile and superficial. We should protect this. For me, the most
Absolutely.
beautiful art of all.
Absolutely, man. It was very nice talking to you, Peter, man. Have a good
Same.
afternoon, man. Same.
Talk to
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.